Financial freedom disclaimer: it's important to us that our membership and community be empowered to live better lives and are enabled to ensure that their prosperity and legacy is secured. This in mind, the Light Church has scheduled this course for its members and community to receive financial training free of charge. The course is provided by the Light Church, takes a lot of work and discipline, just like any worthwhile endeavor, business or professional continuing education program. Please don't enroll in courses if you subscribe to the get-rich-quick ideologies. We only want serious people dedicated to real professional development who want to add value and enrich their lives. The educational training program provided here is not designed or intended to qualify students for employment. It is intended solely for the avocation, personal enrichment, and enjoyment of students. The Light Church's products, including but not limited to training and coaching materials, are for educational and or illustration purposes only and are provided with the understanding that the Light Church is not engaged in rendering legal, accounting, or any professional advice. All content, courses presented herein have been collected and presented with the best knowledge and intent possible. This in no way reflects a guarantee of success. No results or examples mentioned by us or our students are absolute. Making decisions on any information presented in our courses should be done only with the knowledge that you could experience risk or loss, just like any entrepreneurial endeavor. Use caution and always consult your accountant, your lawyer, or professional advisor before acting on this or any information related to a lifestyle change, your business, or your finances. You alone are responsible for your decisions, actions, and results in life. In registering for and attending this course, you agree not to hold the Light Church liable or any of its affiliates liable for any loss or for decisions, actions, or results at any time under any circumstance, given the information you have received in this course. Awesome. Financial freedom. Let's go. Today, you have 4 powerful speakers that's going to be coming to you. We first have Deacon Felicia Lewis right here, a member of our Light Church. All of them are Light Church members. Thank you, Jesus. But powerful speaker coming to you with about budgeting. We have our very own Lady Josie Jackson that's going to be coming right in with some housing pieces. Our pastor, Dr. Mark T. Jackson, is going to be coming in with some debt elimination. And right up the reins, we're coming in with Janelle Gibbs, who's going to talk to us about some loans and some things for us as well. So again, strap it on, get your notes out. Let's get started. We're going to jump right in here. So let's start it off. And again, clap it up for our very own Deacon Felicia Lewis.
Good morning. Good morning. Glad you all can join us today. So we're just going to jump right in, budgeting. So this is going to be budgeting part 2. If you came to our budgeting class in November, I did a first part. Now this is the second part. So you know your numbers. What's next? Next slide. So I'm just going to get a quick recap because I've seen there are several people who weren't at the first class. So pretty much we just talked about the importance of knowing your numbers. We use the medical analogy to highlight the powerful truth. If you know your numbers, that's the first step to financial health. Next slide, please. So we've all been to the doctor. We've all lost weight. And when we lost weight, guess what? Our blood pressure decreased. Perhaps our blood sugar levels decreased. Same concept. When you manage your indicators, you see a benefit. You prevent disease before it starts. So this is truth known. So if it works in the health space, then I'm sure it'll work in the financial space. So if you know your numbers, as far as your next slide, if you know your numbers, income, expense, debt, credit score, that will strengthen your overall financial health and reduce your risk of financial instability. Next slide, please. And then I gave you your personal financial formula. That was your monthly income minus your monthly expense equals your overall financial health. Next slide. So I got a quick question. How many of you have reviewed your financial picture since the last class? And how many have actively used the financial tracker? Next slide, please. So I'm going to review the financial health tracker that we did last meeting. So the way I develop it, the first part is the income. So whatever your primary job is, you want to put in what you make. So these numbers, I kind of Googled it to see the average of what it costs to live in Akron. So this is like an Akron average total. So then the next thing is your living expenses, rent, mortgage. Notice I have an emergency fund. We all should have an emergency fund put aside. The goal is at least $1,000. And notice I have tithe and offering highlighted. I am a tithe giver. I believe in it. So these are just some of the things that we pay every month. And so when you get your own financial health tracker, you can actually put in what you actually pay, but this is just like a guideline. So then you go down to the next section, miscellaneous subscriptions. I find that most of these subscriptions, they're debited from your account. So when they come out, you kind of like forget about it. You don't see it. So that's why I wanted to put a special place in there for all those subscriptions that you have that you probably forgot of. It could be money that, hey, you can save later on down the road. And then the last part is the credit card debt. I Googled it and it's saying most people have at least 4 credit cards. So that's why I have 4 there. And when researching, the average credit card limit is $6,500. So if you have any credit cards, you want to put them there. You want to make sure you put your due date there. So credit card for Elder Robinette, can you put in $300 for me? See how the monthly interest populated? Now, if your minimum payment is $25, just know $7.25 of that money is going straight towards a credit card company. They're paying their sales first. So we need to take a lesson, or we need to start paying ourselves first. Go down to the, scroll on down. And then at the end, all of this stuff will total. And then if you go on over to the summary, it'll let you know your total income, what your total living expenses is, everything that's coming out. So you have your monthly outflow is $3,864.61. So guess what you have left over? You have $58.46 left over to navigate whatever else you have to do. So let's go back to the PowerPoint. So next slide. So what's next? So now you're into part 2. That was an overview of part 1. Part 2. So now we want to do we want to dig deep into your financial reality. So that form, that's your financial reality. That's exactly what you owe and when it's due. So first things first, we want to start paying our bills on time. If you don't pay your bills on time, please do. What will that do for you? It will save money because you're not paying late fees, and it will also boost your credit score over time, being consistent and paying bills on time. Next slide. And the next thing you want to do, you want to build an emergency fund if you don't have one. Let's shoot for $1,000. Why? It is your first line of defense against financial setbacks. I did some research again. Roughly 1 in 3 Americans, that's 30 to 37%, cannot afford a $400 unexpected expense. And we know with Trump in office, we need to be prepared. Next slide. So what's next? It's the third thing. You want to get clear on your life goals. You want to sit down. What do you want for your life? So you want to write the vision. And when you write the vision, you want to align it with your financial numbers. Okay. And then you want to ask the real question. Does your current financial picture support the life you say you want? So I'm going to go back to that financial tracker for a quick second. Give you just a little, okay, let's go back to the budget. Okay, my goal, I want to retire in 5 years, okay? And I want to retire with no mortgage and no credit card debt. So if that's the case, I'm sorry, Elder Robinette, go back to the summary. If that's my goal in 5 years, do you really think $58.46 is going to get me there in 5 years? No, I need to do something. I need to be proactive. So let's go back to the budget details. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go get me a side hustle, a side job. So say I get a side job and it brings me in $1,000. And you see your total income changes right there. And then just for time's sake, let's go on over to the summary button. Now I have an extra $1,058.46. I can work with that. What can I do with that? I can start chunking an extra $100 towards the principal of my mortgage if I want it to be paid off in 5 years. You have options. Okay, let's go back to the PowerPoint. So when you line up your goals against your current financial picture, now you know you need to cut out what's not serving your financial goals. If it's you're spending extra money, got all these credit cards, you just need to cut it out. If you need to get an extra job, an extra side hustle, that's what we need to do. Next slide. So when you define the life you want, then budgeting stops feeling like a restriction and it starts working as a roadmap to get you there. When people hear budgeting, oh, I can't do this. Oh, I can't do that. But if we reframe our thoughts, reframe your mindset and say, this is a roadmap to get me to where I want. I don't want to work 67. I don't want to be working at 67. I don't. I want to retire at 62. So if I know that's my goal, then I need to dig deep into my budgeting and do what I need to do to make my goal a reality. Next slide. So I'm leaving you with two scriptures. Matthew 6:33, but seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you. And seeking him first, I personally believe paying your tithes and offering first. Give him the first tenth. He'll bless the 90. He'll make that 90 last. I'm a witness. Second scripture is trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not to your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your path. When you sit down with your budget and your finances, give it to God. Lord, I don't know what to do. Forgive me for getting myself into this mess. But Lord, you give me. Tell me what to do. I'm going to listen. And when you do that, he'll give you the pathway and it'll be right. Next slide. That's it. Any questions? If there are no questions, if you think of anything later on, you can reach me at info@thelightchurch.us. I know last time I said I was going to have a send out email blast. Forgive me, I didn't do it. Time and life got in the way. But if you need help, I'm always here. You can reach me at that email. You know where I'm at on Sundays. Most of you have my number. Just reach out. Thank you.
Awesome. Come on, clap it up for budgeting and Deacon Felicia. All right. So here, no one had any questions, but I want to open up the floor real quick. We are good on time. And even definitely to Deacon Felicia. You talked about side hustles and side jobs. Could you give us some examples? If anybody on the call, do you got a side hustle? Do you got a side job that you can say, hey, this is what I do? Because again, it's like we hear it, but what does that look like for me? What is a side hustle? What can I do? So can you help us out? Anybody in the chat, definitely chime in with some side things we can do where we can get that extra 1,000 or 15 or even 10,000 extra a month. Anybody chime in, Deacon Felicia as well.
Okay, so for me, what I've done, by education, I'm a medical technologist. So while I was working my real job, I did PRN for Akron General Health and Wellness. And I would just work whenever they needed me. Then I said I would never work midnights again. And then one day I worked midnights. I found out, don't nobody come in at urgent care at night, not unless you drunk. but normal people, they don't come. So I said, sign me up for midnight. So I did that for 13 years, making good money because I was PRN. So they don't give you insurance, they don't give you none of that stuff. I didn't need it because I had a real job. And so that was probably the longest side hustle I have. And sometimes if you have like a hidden talent, those of you who are tech savvy, you know how to do PowerPoints. A lot of people don't know how to do that stuff. Resumes, if you have the gift of doing resumes, stuff that you like do that you love to do, you can monetize it. That's just a few examples.
I love it. Awesome. Awesome. Somebody on here, we got in the chat. I didn't see any questions, but we got Veronica Kelly. She sells purses and t-shirts on the side. Cynthia Kidd says she does direct marketing on the side. Nichelle, she says she does nails after her main job. And yes, the slides are going to be on our website. Yep, absolutely. This is awesome. Starting a craft business. Carolyn starting something there. Ebony, she puts in there, she says she actually works a side hustle part-time, work at home, 10 to 12, 20 hours per week. She's in the tech field. Henry, sell products, TikTok, e-commerce stores, travel agent for Ebony. Woodwork. Come on, Jeff Jones. I do work. I need a bench. Come on, Jeff Jones. He do woodworking. Gift baskets, Chris. So again, side hustle. That was important for us to see, and just how we put that $1,000 in there, and just how it changed it. Awesome. I love it. Awesome. So again, as you're in the class, you have speakers doing a fabulous job. Get in the chat, start getting ideas and concepts. Again, each one, teach one. Dude, we still going. Gift baskets. Come on, y'all. Come on, Christy.
And I have one, Elder Robinette, for you as
yeah.
For that one. I know we're all pressed for time. So I know it's like, I can't give all my hours, right? I'm working a 9 to 5. How else can I do something else? For those of you, Notary Public. I'm a notary public in California. You can do that on the weekends. There's every piece of property that you see. There's a notary public that's attached to it. You can do that and make a lot of money. Do a notary public or sell on eBay, y'all. Whatever's in your house, old things, get rid of it, sell it on eBay. So those are a few things that you can do. We're trying to get this extra money to get that debt down, get it down. That income needs to increase. And we actually did have one question, Deacon Felicia, in the chat. From Meech. Meech Beasley has a question in there. He said, "Can you repeat the budget equation for your presentation?"
Yes. So it's your monthly income minus your monthly expense, and your monthly expense is all of your living expenses and any of your debts, your miscellaneous expenses. You add that all up, and then that's your financial health. Whatever's left over, that is what you have to work with after everything is paid.
All right. Awesome. I love it. And y'all still going. Look at here. Tanisha doing silk presses.
Yeah.
College. Come on, y'all. Look at that. Y'all need a massage. Erica in there giving out massages. Come on now. Get in the chat. The help is right here. Getting some ideas. Tech help. Come on. We can keep going.
And one thing, when you do these side hustle, make the money work for you. Don't waste it. Don't say, I got this extra money. Oh, this purse is on sale. I say purses because I'm a purse person. That's my drug of choice. I can't go and buy a purse after I've worked extra. No, you put it to what it's intended for. Be focused.
I love it. I love it. This is awesome. Again, another power-packed time in the room. So next, we're continuing on. We got our budgeting pieces. Again, get those notes out. Stay connected. We're now going to transition into real estate. So I'm going to bring up to the microphone, the Zoom room, our very own First Lady J. Jackson. Let's clap it up for us as she comes in the room.
Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing? I am Josie Jackson, otherwise known as Lady J, and I'm so excited to be here today to present to you. I have a lot of information for you, and we were just talking about, different side hustles. Real estate is a really good side hustle. You don't have to be a real estate agent, and you can have your money work for you. So that's what we're going to kind of talk about today. Next slide. So, what is the most important thing to remember when buying a house? Anybody, just drop it in the chat. What do you think the most important thing is when buying a house? Credit. That's important. Your credit score. Your credit score. See a lot of credit score, credit history, credit score, credit score, credit score, credit debt, budget, home equity. It's affordable, cost, property value, income, debt ratio. Very good. All of those things are very important. But let's say we're buying a house, so we've already established our credit. So we're already kind of there. Next slide. Location is important. So I want you to remember that location is always important. You know, you want to make sure you buy a house in a good location so you can have some equity in your home. You want to live in the home or you want to rent it, and you don't want to be scared to go in the neighborhood. So location is important, okay? But the point that I'm trying to drive home is, next slide. The most important thing with purchasing a home is getting a fixed rate. So many people don't know to get a fixed rate. And I feel like I would be doing a disservice if we don't discuss that today. Fixed rates are so important. Next slide. So this is why a fixed rate is important, because if you get a fixed rate, your principal and your interest on your payments never change. Okay. I want to be very clear. Adjustable rate mortgages, otherwise known as ARMs, are bad. Don't get an adjustable rate mortgage. Okay. Now, and I say they're bad because the average person doesn't have enough funding to utilize adjustable rate mortgages the way that it's intended. Now, if you're a skilled investor, and the term skilled is important. If you are a skilled investor, then adjustable rate mortgages are okay for you. But if you are just the average person looking to purchase a home, the average person looking to purchase a rental property, do not get an adjustable rate mortgage. Okay, next slide. Okay, this is why, the adjustable rate mortgages are bad. And I know that's a negative term, but I just want to be very clear. I want people to understand when purchasing property for themselves or, investment property, I want you to understand what you're getting into. So if you don't remember anything that I say here today, remember fixed rate, okay? Because the adjustable rate mortgages are bad because they kind of entice you with that initial low interest rate. So it's just like a little teaser. It just kind of brings you in. You're like, oh, well, this payment, this will be much lower. So it kind of brings you in, and it's different for each bank. So it might be 2 to 3 years. The payment is locked in, but it's just a temporary lock in. It might be 3 to 5, just depending on the bank. So it's locked in for this term. And then after the term, the payments reset, and it resets to a much higher payment. And we saw this back in 2008 when the housing market crashed. A lot of people had those adjustable rate mortgages, and the housing payment went up so high it even doubled. Now imagine you get a payment and you purchase a home, and your home is $1,400 a month, and then that doubles. You didn't account for that. So that's where a lot of people lost their homes. Okay. So this is the way for you to avoid that. You don't have to worry about, are my rates going to change? You get a fixed rate. So when you contact the bank, you say, I need a fixed rate. Okay. Next slide. Fixed rate. Okay. I want to be very clear. Fixed rate. Okay. Next slide. Okay. So with a fixed rate, you don't have to worry about, your rates changing. You are locked in. Okay. The fixed rate is set. Next slide. So what happens, and I just kind of want to go down this rabbit hole. What happens when you get an adjustable rate mortgage, otherwise known as an ARM? and the rates increase after 2 to 3 years. Did anybody kind of have an idea what could happen? Possibilities? Anybody, just drop it in the chat. What could happen if your payments double, or things like that? Anybody? Okay, I got no takers. That's all right. Next slide. If you miss a payment on your mortgage, yes, you can. Yeah, exactly. Very good. You'll end up missing payments because you didn't have the money set aside for that large payment. Okay, so the mortgage payment went up too high. You missed a payment, and now what? Next slide. Your credit score drops. Your credit score drops because you missed a payment. And when your credit score drops, your insurance drops, or your insurance goes up, I should say. So a lot of people don't know that your homeowner's insurance is connected to your credit. So when you miss that payment, when it's time to renew, that insurance will go up. And so now you have a payment that doubled and your insurance went up, all because you got an adjustable rate. It's bad. Okay. No adjustable rate. If you're a skilled investor, that's who that's for. But if you are just purchasing a home, do not be enticed by that lower interest rate. Do not let that entice you. Okay. Next slide. Okay, so we want to maintain a good credit score. And Pastor's going to be talking about credit here today. And I really want to just drive home. You really have the dream team here. You've got Felicia here, Deacon Felicia here with the budgeting. And you've got Janelle here with all of the information on getting a loan. You have myself here. I'm a licensed real estate agent and property manager. Then you have Pastor, who I don't think people give him enough credit with. He is a mastermind when it comes to credit building, and the things that he's teaching us, he's done. The things that are in my slide, I've done. I've used these different tools. So really utilize, you have a dream team here. Anything that you want to do, you can tap into all of these people who are here. But it's so important. It's important that you build your credit. So now if you already have your credit built, you're already, halfway there. Okay. So we want to make our money work for us. Okay. And a good way to do that is real estate. I want money to be working for me while I'm sleeping. I want residual income coming in while I'm sleeping. Okay. Next slide. Okay, so the Bible says in Matthew 9:38, and this is the NIV, the harvest is plentiful, but the workers are few. And this Bible verse always stood out to me because it's enough harvest for everyone to eat good, right? It's enough harvest for everyone to eat good, but the workers are few. That means it's not a lot of people who are willing to do the work. Okay, next slide. So what we're here today, and what we're trying to do is we're trying to get you to understand we got to do the work. Okay. You don't want to get into that point of you have that analysis paralysis where you get all of this information from all of these different places. You go to these different conferences. They have so much information for you. You get it and you do nothing with it. You want to make sure you tap into everything that we're providing here. You get your budget together. You get that fund together, the emergency fund, like Deacon Felicia was talking about. You get all of those things together so that you can invest. Okay. So, and Pastor always says, where my millionaires at in church? You don't want to be that person that the Bible is talking about, where the harvest is plentiful, but the workers are few. You have to work. You have to do something. And real estate is one of the top 5 ways to become a millionaire. So when we raise our hand, when Pastor says, where's the millionaires at? Let's actually put some work behind it, because it's enough harvest for all of us to eat good. Okay, next slide. Okay, so what do you need to become a real estate investor? Anybody? What do you need? Can somebody drop it in the chat? What are some things that you may need to become a real estate investor? A license, money, courses, money. Anyone else? Income, capital, money, knowledge. That's what we're getting today. Time, strategy. I don't know. Wisdom. Okay. Very good. Very good. So a lot of the things that you said here, was really important, but you don't need a license to be, networking is very good. You don't need a license to be a real estate investor. You don't. There are just some basic things that some of you may already have and you just don't know. That's why you come to, these courses so you can get an understanding. Good credit, that's important. That is on the list. So next slide. So this is what you need to have to become a real estate investor. You need at least 2 or more years on your job so that you can get funding from the bank. You need a down payment, which is typically about 15% for a single family home or about 25% for a multi-unit. And it's anywhere from 20 to 25%, depending on the bank and depending on your credit score. The better your score is, the more you will have a little bit of flexibility with that down payment. Okay. So now the banks would like your credit score to be around a 680 to a 700. This is for real estate investing. This is not for just purchasing a regular home, because purchasing a regular home just for yourself, you can actually, your credit score can be a little bit lower just depending on the type of loan. You may apply for an FHA loan, which, the credit score can be anywhere around 580 or somewhere in there. But these are the things that you need to become a real estate investor. Okay, so if you're looking at this list and you're like, I've been on my job, more than 2 years, I got a little bit of money saved up, and my credit score is in this range, you're ready to invest. You're ready to invest. So these are all the things that you need to become an investor. You don't need a license. This is what you need. And then the information that you're getting here today. Everything that you're getting here today is enough information for you to walk away from this Zoom call and begin investing. Okay, next slide. Okay, like I just said, some of you have all of these things. What's stopping you? If you have all of these things that are, in your tool belt right now, you've been on your job, you have the credit score, and you got a little bit of money saved up to where you can, have a down payment. What's stopping you from investing? Is it fear? Is it the lack of knowledge? Because that's what you're getting here today. What is it? And you have to ask yourself, what's stopping me from moving forward? You want to do better. We want to be in better positions. The Bible says a wise man will leave something for his children's children. That means your grandchildren. And we want to be wise. We want to be wise in God's eyes. So we want to have something to leave for our children. This is how you build generational wealth, residual income, because a lot of us don't have time to, go to multiple jobs. And the reality is real estate, you don't need a large amount of time to do real estate. People purchase homes every day. They don't stop working to purchase homes. They purchase homes every day. You purchase a home and you get a renter in there and you are a real estate investor. Okay, that's one of the avenues that you can go to become a real estate investor. And that's, the main one we're talking about here today. Next time we have financial freedom, we'll talk about some other avenues that we could go down, like commercial real estate, things like that, project management type things. But right now we're talking about real estate investing, getting residual income through rental properties and things like that. These are all tools that we could use, and a lot of us have it in our tool belt. So really think about that before you leave here today. What's stopping you? Because it's not time, because it doesn't take that much time to invest in real estate. It really doesn't. And this is probably one of the things that you can make the most money with the least amount of time. And I like that because I like my time and I like my money. So, okay, next slide. Okay, the next slide. Is that a duplicate? So like the, okay, we're going. The harvest is plentiful, but the workers are few. Just remember that. Remember that. When you start to think about what you want to invest in, what your future, what you want to do, really think about that. That's what the Bible says. And we are Bible believers. The harvest is plentiful, but the workers are few. So it's just a lot of people won't do it. A lot of people will leave here and they won't take the next steps. Don't let that be you. Okay? Next slide. So I have a subject property that I looked up and it's actually on the market right now. I couldn't get the picture in there, but the property is a duplex and is located in the Cleveland area. And the zip code is 44120, which is right on the border of Shaker. Shaker is a really desired area because of the school systems, but the taxes are really high in Shaker. But if you're on the cusp right here in this zip code, you get kind of all of the benefits of Shaker. It's just like a street over, but you don't have to pay the high taxes. So people want to live here. This duplex that I found, I just want to kind of give you all an idea of what to look for investment properties. Okay. So it's a desired area without the high taxes. Next slide. So this home was listed at $72,000. It's a duplex. Okay. That's a deal. The first unit is rented for $1,000 and it's a 2-bedroom, 1 bath. The second unit is rented for $1,200. It's a 3-bedroom, 1 bath. Okay, next slide. So the down payment on this property would be anywhere from 20 to 25%, depending on your credit score. So 20% of $72,000 is $14,400. Okay, your monthly payment on this, if you choose to have a 30-year fixed mortgage, because we don't do adjustable rate, right? Fixed mortgage. So if you have a 30-year fixed mortgage, your payments on this property will be $674. $674. Now you bringing in rent from one unit that's $1,000 and rent from the second unit that's $1,200. Okay, next slide. That's $2,200 a month coming in rental income. Now, minus the mortgage, that's $1,500 a month. $1,500 a month. Who could use the extra $1,500 a month? I know I can, right? So there's deals like this every day. There's deals out in a lot of us are in Ohio. Ohio is the place to buy property. When I tell you Ohio is the place to buy property, Ohio is the place to buy property. All over the United States, people are buying property here and they don't even live here. This is the place to buy property. So we are fortunate in that regard because we're here. And it might just be a matter of if you're in Youngstown driving an hour to Cleveland just to go, see the property. Or Youngstown is a good place to buy property as well. Akron. So these deals are out here. You just have to look for them. So if you purchase this property at a 30-year mortgage, and some people may be thinking, well, I don't make that much money. The bank will account for the income when you buy multiple units. So the income that you will get from this property will increase your income. So when the bank is looking at all of those things like, okay, this person makes this amount of money, when you go to initially start investing, you start investing with multi-units first so that one tenant can pay the mortgage and the other tenant can pay you. So $1,500 a month That's $18,312 a year. Who could use that? I know I can. Now imagine if you did that multiple times. Imagine if you did that multiple times. What's stopping you? Now, some of us may have messed up our credit, but I know I've done it before in the past. But the thing is, there's tools here that Pastor is going to give us. Utilize them. There's so many things here. There was somebody that on the slides that we had last year, the slides that I put up last year, and I told someone, I said, if in the slides, I said, if you use the website, it's not on there now, but it should be on our church website. If you use these websites and these different tools to build your credit, reporting your rental income, if you're a renter, it'll build your credit. And someone at our church said they did that and it boosted their credit tremendously just from reporting their rental income. Now you have to pay your rent on time, in order to report that to the credit bureau, but that will boost your income or your credit. So credit is so important because your credit will allow you to make money. Just your credit. It's just your credit. Getting in a good place where you have a good credit score will allow you to make money and keep your time. Okay, next slide. We want residual income. We want that residual income. So that's the goal, to figure out how to get that residual income and how to allow our money to make money for us. If we get that $18,000 a year and we do like Deacon Felicia says, and we don't buy purses or shoes or whatever it is, and we take that $18,000 and we use it as a down payment for another property, we're good to go. All we have to do is save up that first down payment. That's all we have to do. Save up that first down payment, get our credit together. And most of us have been on our jobs long enough to get to a loan. Okay, next slide. So I want to talk about a poverty mindset a little bit. Okay, so a poverty mindset sometimes is called a scarcity mindset. And it's a pattern of thinking shaped by financial hardships, instability, or fear of not having enough. So we have to move away from having a poverty mindset. Some of us may have a poverty mindset and we don't even know. We don't even know that we have a poverty mindset. Next slide. So these are just different traits that people with a poverty mindset have. It's not about how much money someone has, but it's about how they think about money and the opportunities and security. Next slide. Okay, so these are traits. Prioritizes survival over long-term planning. That's what we're doing here. This is long-term planning. It's not instant. What we're doing here is not instant. This is long-term planning, legacy building, generational wealth, long-term planning. We want to move away from just, prioritizing survival. That is no longer our mindset. Long-term planning. Okay. And then, some of the traits of having a poverty mindset is just, it's difficult to invest time or money for future payoffs. Like if I'm not getting paid today, I'm not doing it. Or if I'm not getting paid next week, I'm not doing it. You can't have that mindset. You can't have, a fear-based decision-making process. You can't avoid opportunities because there's risks. There's risk with real estate, but it's a calculated risk. When you purchase homes, I always tell people, homes are like stocks. When you purchase them, the value goes up and down. So it's like a stock. It's an investment. Okay. There's risk, but it's a calculated risk. Okay. And, sometimes people think, they don't want to take the chance because it's a risk. Real estate's not, it just depends on what you choose to do. What you choose to do with your money, how you invest. it'll determine on, if this is a high risk investment or if it's not. The example that I gave today was not a high risk investment. So you have enough money in that example. If there's anything that, needs to be fixed in the home, you'll have enough money to, if you save your money, you got to save it. You can't just get the money and start shopping and spending. You have to be intentional with everything that you do and be willing to wait for future payoffs. Next slide. How do you get the down payment? So let's say you have everything else. You've been on your job. Your credit score is good. How do you get the down payment? Well, budgeting is very important. Budgeting is very important. And why it's so important is we have to assign every dollar. If we don't assign every dollar to a place, then we will just have these leaks and we won't know where they're going. Okay, so I'm going to challenge you all to do what is called a money challenge. Next slide. So if you take this money challenge, depending on the price of the property, you may have your down payment by the next time we meet for our next financial freedom. Okay? Next slide. So if you save $20 a day for 365 days, you'll have $7,300. Now, people get overwhelmed when they think $20 a day, but really think about how many times do you just go to the store and buy nothing and leave with a bill for a couple $100s? How many times? Because we didn't assign our money. How many times? I know I'm guilty of it. I went in the store for one thing and I came out with bags of stuff I did not need. How many times did we go get that $10 coffee? I'm guilty of it. Or whatever it is, just going to different fast food places. We do, we fast from food, but sometimes we might need to do a spending fast. Okay? So I'm doing a spending fast. I'm putting my credit cards on ice. I'm giving my credit cards to my husband, so I'm not going to spend anything else. How many of us have Amazon packages coming every day? I know I'm guilty. I'm guilty. But I've assigned a lot of my dollars, so Pastor said it was okay. Yeah. I have multiple rentals with residual income coming in, and that's my goal. My goal is to be able to retire and to retire with residual income. I want as many houses as I can, and I want them to be full with people paying me rent. That's my goal, so that I can live carefree. If something goes wrong in the property, it doesn't matter. I've got all of the rent from all of the properties that I own coming in, and I don't spend it as much. I spend a little bit on Amazon, but not as much. So these are things that I really want to challenge you to do. Look at what you're spending money on and what you can eliminate. Okay? What are the things that, think back 10 years ago, I wasn't buying this. There was a day where I really thought back and I said, what did I do 20 years ago? I wasn't buying all of this stuff. I wasn't buying anything. And I was just as happy. Right? So you have to really just retrain your mind. Retrain your mind. And when you start focusing on, you have a goal and you set that goal, you'll be able to get things done. Next slide. Any questions?
All right, Lady J, I see we have a few in the chat in which some of them you already answered. But one of the questions was, can anyone apply for a fixed rate mortgage?
Yes, as long as you have the things that was in the slideshow. So a fixed rate mortgage is the type of mortgage that you need to apply for. It's a conventional loan, but it's a fixed rate. And Janelle's going to be talking about loans and things like that. So she's going to give you so much more information on loans. But yes, the only thing that you really truly need is your credit. You need that work history, and you need to have that down payment and those closing costs as well. That's it. That's all you need to apply for a fixed rate.
Awesome, awesome. And the other question that we have in the chat as it relates to the income from the properties, if you invest, they ask, do you take that extra money outside of the mortgage and pay those properties off early?
Yes, that's what I do. That's what I do. And Pastor's going to talk about that as well. He's done that as well. So I definitely do that. I'm a firm believer in that because, like I said, properties are like stocks. If I pay it off and now it's full, and I purchased it. I have some properties I've purchased for $50,000 and they're worth $150,000, and I paid them off. So, yes, you take that money and you just throw it at that. But you also want to, if you're an initial investor, you want to keep some of that money in the bank just in case there's some type of hiccup or you need to do something to fix the home.
Got
Any
it.
other questions?
And there's two more, Lady J. I'm not sure if you're going to speak to this or Janelle will. Someone asks, what information do you have for a VA loan and what about FHA qualifications?
Janelle is going to speak about VA loans, and I'm sure she has some information on FHA home loans as well. So she's the expert in that area. So I will let her address those.
Awesome, awesome. And all right, before we get moving on, we'll take this last one here. They ask, can you talk about the expenses that an investor has to consider beyond the mortgage?
So the expenses that investor has to consider is the homeowner's insurance, which is locked into the mortgage. So that's all in there. The homeowner's insurance and the taxes, that's in that $674, that example that I showed you. All of that's in there. When you have a mortgage, they pay that for you. So that's all in there. The other expenses that you have are utilities. For all of my properties, the tenant pay all of the utilities, the gas, the electric, and the water. I don't pay anything. So as long as you purchase a multi-unit and it has multiple water meters so that the individual water meters can be read, you can make sure that the tenant pays the water, the electric, and the gas. You just need to have the separate hookups for those so that you can have the separate payments going to that. But I don't pay any utilities. So the only thing that you have to really, worry about is if something goes wrong in the property. And that's why you look for solid properties. And then you also get additional insurance. There's insurance, there's home warranties where you can make sure that the cover the furnace, that cover the hot water heater. So and the insurance might be an extra $5 or $10 a month. Get it. You get that insurance, and then you don't have to worry about if the hot water tank goes out. You pay the deductible, 500 or 1,000, whatever deductible you choose, and then it's fixed.
This is so, Lady J, you are blessing us today. This is some great information, and they have more questions coming in. You all, this information will be available for you after this presentation. After it's over, you'll have all this access to it, but they just want to know, there's another question. Someone says, if I just opened a home equity line of credit in 2025 on my home, how long would you recommend before attempting to invest in an investment property?
Well, you don't have to delay, but, with the home equity lines of credit, the interest rate is a little high. So you have to be a little more strategic with that. But the next time we meet, we'll discuss, investing with home equity lines of credit and things like that. And if you're like, I can't wait, there's my contact information because we have to so just take a picture of that and you can give me a call and we can talk about that before our next meeting, but we have to get to the next presentation. So if anybody's interested in investing or anything like that, shoot me an email, give me a call, and we'll talk further about it.
Awesome. Thank you so much. What a awesome opportunity. This is a lot of good information. We're jumping right into our next presenter. We have our very own Dr. Pastor Mark T. Jackson, who is going to come to us talking about debt elimination and credit.
All right, what's up, everybody? I got so much to share with you. I want you to write some notes down. We're going to jump right in, everybody. Again, I have a lot to share with you. I'm going to be straight practical with a lot of the things that I'm going to share. I'm going to talk about today credit counts, and we're continuing this conversation. We're going to talk about debt elimination as well. We're adding that to it. I want to appreciate my colleagues who have come on before and just did a wonderful job presenting, Deacon Felicia and my wife, Lady J. And then, of course, Sister Janelle is getting ready to give us the fire. So you don't want to miss this, everybody. I want to also appreciate Elder Robinette and Elder Shawana, who is doing a wonderful job manning this call. Guys, take these. I might not give you everything that I need to give you. So I always like to give you some reads that you can take. So write these down. Think and Grow Rich. Take a snapshot of the screen. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. There's another great book called The Automatic Millionaire. It's a powerful one-step plan to live and finish rich by David Bach. Okay. Also, one of my favorites, and I've actually sent this to my son Robert. I got this for him here recently, called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I want to challenge all of you to give this to your teenagers. If you have not read this, you need to personally read this. It is a different understanding of finance. It just takes you to another level and hopefully changes your paradigm related to finance. There's some more other books. Larissa's book, Brother Laurice Purnell, A Practical Guide for Young Adults, Financial Foundations. Get that book if you don't have it. It's a jump start on understanding financial literacy, everybody. I love this book. I got it in two different versions. Dave Ramsey's The Total Money Makeover. If you don't have it, you need to get it, everybody. Read it. This is work. Now, some of you received a text message from me this morning. If you received a text message or a call from me, I want you to drop a 1 in the chat to let me know that you're getting some of these calls. It was a reminder because honestly, I'm sick and tired. Y'all hear my heart. I'm sick and tired of people saying they want to go to the next level, but they're not willing to do the work to get to the next level. Then they blame it. Oh, I'm not growing. I'm going somewhere else. No, you're not growing because you're not putting the time in. And the ones who are on this call, I want to applaud you because you are putting the time in to take yourself to another level. Now, I'm speaking over you, millionaire status. Now, that's up to you to receive it. But now, if you're going to be a millionaire, you're going to have to do some of this stuff. You want to put these things to work. It's not just going to happen overnight. God could, some of y'all could, God could bless you with some type of inheritance or something. Next thing you know, you're a millionaire. But for the majority of us, we're going to have to work our way to a place. There's some books on here I named, some I didn't name, maybe even Susie Orman's book, The Laws of Money, The Lessons of Life. Now, she and Dave Ramsey kind of have different ideas towards money, but maybe get their philosophies and compare them, do what works for you. Another book by Robert Kiyosaki, Becoming a Millionaire God's Way. Becoming a Millionaire God's Way. And for those of you who don't like to read, man, you're going to hate me because I'm a reader. I love reading and I love getting the knowledge, okay? Another great read by Dean Graziosi is Millionaire Success Habits. Millionaire Success Habits. So we are intentionally trying to give you content that will help you financially, not just financially, but that will help you generationally and build a legacy. Okay, so take some notes, everybody, if I don't give it to you. Here's my first question I want to ask everybody. I asked you guys to do some homework. I don't know who did it, but I want to know. Don't type it in there, but what is your credit score? Do you know it? Do you know what your credit score is? Okay, do you know that? All right, I want to talk to you because credit counts, everybody. Here's my course overview for today. All right, I want to talk about what a score is, why it matters, and how to build and repair it. But then I want to talk about debt elimination. I want to give you some practical debt tools. We're going to actually give you some case scenarios. So really pay attention. And I want to also high five all of y'all who got your videos on. That lets me know that you are serious about this, that you're taking this seriously. Thank you for those of you who put your screens on. Some of you can't put your screens on. You're at work, you're sneaking in this. I get it. But thank you for being here. But if you can turn your screens on, we'd love to see your face, okay? So now we're going to talk about snowball versus avalanche strategies that Dave Ramsey speaks of to eliminating debt. Then I'm going to speak to you briefly about velocity banking and infinite banking, but we won't have time to get into it as much as we will on the next time, okay? The outcome should be lower costs, should be more approvals, just more options available for you to eliminate debt and to repair your credit. Okay, everybody, credit counts. Again, what is your credit score? Let me really make it clear what your credit score is. Your credit score is a 3-digit number that summarizes how you've handled credit. Lenders and other companies use it to estimate their risk, how likely you are to pay as agreed. A better score gives you better terms, lower costs, easier approvals, larger limits, okay? So here's what your credit score is used for. I want to briefly hit this because I really want to get to these case scenarios. It's used for lower interest rates. Many of you are trying to get some lower interest rates on your houses. Man, before you buy your house, man, you might want to make sure your credit score is as high as it can be, because the higher your credit score is, the lower your interest rate will be. And you want your interest rate to be low as possible. Loan approvals, high credit limit cards, lines of credit, okay? Some people tell me, oh, I got a credit card, Pastor Mark, and I am an advocate for credit cards. Now, I know some of y'all like, Pastor, no, don't use credit cards. Be like Dave Ramsey. I'm against that. That's just my personal philosophy. You don't have to adopt that. I thank God for credit cards. I thank God for lines of credit. It has worked for me. If you are disciplined, you need to maybe consider some credit cards. If you are not disciplined, yes, go all the way. Dave Ramsey, cut all your stuff up if you're not disciplined, because it's going to take you down a rabbit hole that you don't want to go down. Okay. So high credit limits, credit limit cards, high credit lines of credit. And I'm talking about unsecured lines of credit, vis-a-vis secured lines of credit. We'll get into that. Credit score is used for reduced insurance premiums, rental approvals. For those of you who say, oh, I want to get my first apartment. I don't have enough money to get a house, but I need to move out. Okay, a better credit score will help you get a better living situation for rental. Utility deposits. Some of you want to get your water turned on, electric. Sometimes they want to know, what is your credit score? Employment opportunities in some roles of industries. Reduced security deposits, enhanced credit card usage, reward balance transfer offers, access to debt tools. So all of this boils back to, what is your credit score? What is your credit score? If you're going to go somewhere and somebody's going to lend you some money, they want to know, are you credible? Do you pay on time? That's real. So look at this, everybody. I want to go even further, because I don't just want you to understand your credit score. I want you to understand the actual credit score ranges. Go ahead and take a snapshot of the screen real quick. So if you know what your credit score is, how many of you know what your credit score is? Type it 2 in the chat. Okay. If you're proud of your credit score, feel free to post it in the chat. If you're proud of it, okay, feel free to post it. If you don't want to post it, you don't have to. If you want to be, okay, good. I see some 800s. Let's go. Okay, very good. 819, 808, 686, 747. Now, listen, don't feel bad about your credit, because your credit fluctuates. All right, mine used to be 800, then it dropped down all the way to like 600 something. Well, I needed it to drop that. I really didn't want it to drop that low, but I needed to use my credit. So when you use your credit goes down. Okay, if you got a lot of stuff on your credit, it goes down. But you got to know, you got to have a plan. You got to have a strategy. Go ahead and put your credit score. Yes, 747. I see you. Yeah, Yeah, 686, 819. So all of us have some different ones. Some of y'all not saying nothing, but maybe yours is like 5 something. Maybe it's 4. It might be somebody in here with 3 something. Don't feel bad. Our goal is to help you get to the next level. All right. So by this time that we meet next time, by the time we meet next time, and they'll give you the dates. By the time we meet next time, I want you to be ready and I want you to know what your credit score is and how to improve it. Ranges are a quick way to interpret where you currently stand. So if you're between 300 and 579, it's not time for you to start thinking about getting a home, honestly, really. And Janelle and them would tell me if I'm wrong about that. But I think you probably need to be somewhere in the fair range. In the fair range, that's 580 to 669. If you really want a better chance, maybe 670 to 739. Now, if you want really good odds, 740 to 799. If you want exceptional, you're talking 800 to 850, everybody. So if you're anywhere in the 300 to 579, we gotta get you to do some work. We got some work to do, but we're gonna get there. All right, everybody. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. I want to go back just for a minute. Those of you who don't want to expose your credit score, maybe you can tell me what range you're in. Are you poor? Are you fair? Are you in good? Are you very good? Are you exceptional? Would you type that in the chat? Those of you who will. Okay, I see a lot of fair. Okay, I got some good. Come on, we're going to work together. Yeah, I need y'all to talk back to me. All right, good, very good. I got exceptional. Okay, very good, fair, good. All right, very good. So we're gonna get you further. Now look at this. Here's some credit score factors. Credit scores are calculated using 5 key components. And I want you to focus first on the 2 biggest levers: on-time payments, and utilization. On-time payments and utilization. You cannot be late paying your bills. You cannot be late paying your credit card. It is a cardinal sin. You cannot do it, everybody, which is why I talk about automating a lot of your payments. So whatever is due, the first assignment, come on, write this down. The first assignment you're going to do is you're going to automate all of your payments that you can. I'm talking about every bill that you can automate. If it's Netflix, some of y'all got Netflix, automate it. Okay, if it's a credit card payment, all of your credit cards need to be automated, every single one of them. Don't give yourself that much credit to think that you won't get sick or you'll forget one day. If you, Pastor, I only got 1 or 2 credit cards, I don't care. Automate the payment. Set them to automatically come out, automatically drop from your account, okay? And then off of that account, let's say they're drawing from a checking account, then set some type of account up in case they don't have enough money in that account. Maybe you overspent it and it draws from somewhere else because you cannot afford to have late payments. No late payments, everybody. No late payments. And if you have some 30-day late payments, think about this. It's only 30 days late if you missed the payment and took 30 days not to pay it. That's just a lack of responsibility, everybody. There is no way you should be 30 days past, 60 days, 90 days. Okay, let's go here. I'm going to keep it real with you. Some of you have not looked at your credit report because you know what's on it. You already know this is getting ready to be crazy. Face the music. Type that in the chat. Face the music. I need you to go and get an understanding of what's on your credit. I told you you can obtain it at annualcreditreport.com. I'm going ahead of myself, but I need everybody to get your credit report. Download it, okay? How many of you have a copy of your credit report? All 3 bureaus, from all 3 bureaus, type a 1 in the chat if you have it. If you did your homework and you have it. Be honest. God is looking at you right now. God sees you. If you have it, type a 1. If you don't have it, you type a 2. Be honest. I need you to be honest. If you just came on here, you're new to this, just type a 2. It's okay. I see you. Type a 2. Type a 2. All right, those 2s going in the chat. I want to challenge you guys to download it. If you can download it within the next week, come on, that's enough time. Within the next week, see what is on your credit report. Who knows? Our church might be so blessed that we can start helping some individuals get free from debt, get some stuff off of their credit report, dispute some things. We're going to show you and give you how to do that. This is free stuff that we're giving you, but you got to take advantage of it. Okay, here's how your credit scores are calculated. They're using 5 key components, everybody. Your payment history is 35%, okay? Then the next thing is your credit utilization. Your credit utilization, that's how many accounts you have. Total together, that percentage needs to be under 30%. If you can keep it under 10%, you're doing really good. 10% per credit card, 10 to 30%. That's great. If you can keep it right around there, I think that's good, okay? Length of credit history, which is why I tell people, do not close your credit card account. Do not close your credit card account. Some of you say, I'm cutting this up. I'm finished with this. I'm closing it. Well, before you do it, you might need to see how that impacts your credit score, because you think you're doing a good thing and you didn't have this credit for about 5 years. Then you cut it. Next thing you know, your rate drops drastically. They take you down 50 points, 60 points, right? So you need to be strategic about that. Those of you who are paying off your school loan, you're like, oh, I'm excited paying off my school loan. Only problem is you didn't have your school loan for 30 years, 25 years. Then you pay it off and you're like, man, I thought my credit score was going to go up, and it goes down. Why does it go down? It went down because there is no line of credit anymore. They had given you that credit for that long, and now it's going down. Even though you paid it, it might reflect negative. So I'm giving y'all some help here. All right, here's another thing. Your credit mix, the type of credit, that's 10%. New credit inquiries. For those of you who look, oh man, I'm gonna apply for this. I'm gonna apply for this. My credit score is down. I'm gonna apply for this. I'm gonna apply for this. And you're applying for it, but when you apply for credit, try to apply all at once for everything. Don't wait this week and then do it. Then the next week you do it. Then the next week you do it. No, if you're going to apply for it, do it all at the same time. If you're going to get a new credit card, do your very best to do it maybe within the same hour. I'm telling you, I've done it. I've helped individuals get thousands of dollars worth of credit. I'm telling you. So it's up to you if you want to take my advice. You don't have to, but I would suggest doing it all at once. Let's go further. I got a long ways to go, everybody. Here we go. Credit monitoring. Here's how you monitor your credit. Take a snapshot. I'm going fast. Credit Karma is what I use. You can use Credit Karma. You can use myfico.com. As far as I know, they are still doing it. If you need to obtain your credit, told you I'm going fast. Take a snapshot. We got to go quick. Visit annualcreditreport.com. Of course, Equifax, Experian, TransUnion are our credit bureaus that you could look into. Okay, they will give you your credit, and now you are still free weekly online reports are available, so you can monitor more closely at no cost. For those of you who are paying to monitor your credit, you don't have to do that. If you want to, I get it. Those of you who need to look at it almost on a daily, okay, but those avenues will help you look at your credit. Let's keep going. Step to establish and repair your credit. Here you go. Number 1, you're going to pay your bills on time. Some of y'all need to just take a snapshot of this and just do this. Eliminate your debt. That's our goal. You're going to keep your credit utilization rate low. Okay, 10 to 30%. Many of you who have not done this and you're trying to establish credit, you need to obtain a secure credit card. Who could I go through? You can go to Fifth Third Bank. I believe Huntington. I believe PNC offers secure credit cards. All right. Get you a secure credit card. Put about $1,500, maybe $2,500 if you can. As far as they'll let you go up, save that amount of money and put it into the bank. They'll keep the money for you. That's why they call it a secure credit card. They will not allow you to use that capital. Okay, they'll keep, if you give them $5,000, they'll give you a $5,000 limit, and it works just like a regular card, and it will help you to establish your credit. Pat, I don't have 5,000. Do you got 500? Do you got 250? Use what you have. It's not about the amount. It's about they want to see discipline. They're trying to track discipline. Then take that card and you use that card for all basic expenses. Okay, you got to get some gas. Okay, get you some gas, but then by the end of the month, pay the card down. Don't use it for stuff. Oh man, that's a nice outfit. I want to get a new outfit. Boom. No, unless you have the money available that you can pay for it, don't waste it. Don't use it. You're just doing that to track and help your expenses go to the next level, help your credit go to the next level. Never charge what you can't afford. Check for errors and dispute them. Pastor, I don't want to do that much work. I want to hire somebody. Stop being lazy. You got to do it. You too broke not to be, you too broke to be lazy. You can't. No, your credit score is too down. No, you have to do the work. Learn how to dispute your credit. All right. We gave you a system for that the last time you were here, how to dispute your credit. We actually have letters that you could use and just put your information in. ChatGPT, let ChatGPT do it for you. ChatGPT, write me up a dispute letter that I can dispute my credit, and it'll do it. Okay. Here's another thing. You got to check and make sure that ChatGPT is right. Steps to establish and repair. Negotiate with creditors. Sometimes they'll let you pay a smaller amount to close the account off. But I don't like to close my account. So sometimes I like to keep it going. But they will let you charge it off quicker. You can ask them, here's what you ask them. Is there a settlement amount that I could use? A settlement amount. Let's say you owe $8,000. They say, okay, well, just pay us $6,500 and we'll close it off. All right. Oh, you owe $800. Well, just give us $350 and we'll take it and close it off. That's called a settlement. Many of you didn't even know you could ask that. You could ask for a settlement amount. Here's another thing. 8, pay down balances strategically with debt avalanche, which is high interest first, often fastest payoff. Or you could do debt snowball, which is the smallest balance first. And then you want to avoid new credit applications. You want to build positive history. You want to consider debt consolidation. Okay, here's another thing. What will damage your credit? Late payments, high credit utilization, cancel credit lines, your stuff going into collection. Okay, errors on report, co-signing, because you're responsible if the person does not pay. Inactive credit cards. You got this credit card, but you never use it. That could be bad. They will close your account. Then boom, you had something for $5,000 that you could use. Then boom, it's nothing. And that messes your credit up. Okay, so let's talk about debt elimination. If this is good stuff, type of 5, everybody. I need to make sure y'all still in this with me. Let's get real here. I might need just a little bit extra time. I'm sorry, y'all, but I want you to get this. Hear me. Here's some debt tools. First thing I want to talk about is debt management tools. Take a snapshot of this. Debt management tools are financial accounts that give you access to borrowed money, secured and unsecured, that must be repaid. And usually it's with interest. Now, here's some common debt tools. Credit cards. I love them. I'm not gonna lie to you. I love them. Unsecured or secured credit cards has helped me. Balance transfer offers when used wisely with the credit cards. Lines of credit. An unsecured line of credit is a line of credit that the bank gives you or someone gives you that you don't have to, that is not secured by something else. For example, it's not secured by my house. If it's secured by my house, they could take my house. That's called a HELOC or a home equity line of credit, where they'll give you a certain amount of equity or credit based on the equity that is in your home. Okay. Secured line of credit is I got something I give you this money, but I know if something happens, I can take this. Here's my watch. Here, take my watch. Give me $500. Boom. Okay, I'll let you borrow $500. If you don't pay this $500 back, I'm keeping your watch. Secured line of credit. Does that make sense, everybody? Home equity line of credit. You bought a house for $100,000. Okay, you paid that down by $50,000. Now you owe $50,000 on it. That means you have $50,000 worth of equity. Usually a bank will give you, if it is your primary residence, up to about 80 to 90% of the equity, which means you would get about $40,000 that you could use, $45,000 that you could use to pull out and use that for some type of investment or use that to pay something down, not to buy other things that you don't need. Okay. I'm not using my lines of credit to act like I'm living a lifestyle that I'm really not. Okay. I'm not using a line of credit to buy a car. Talking about I needed this car. No, you didn't. Ride the bus if you have to. Do whatever you got to do in order to get to a better level. Well, Pastor, I don't want to ride the bus. Okay, get you a decent car, but that car better be making you money. It better be helping you get to work or something. But don't just waste your line of credit. Okay, I've seen people who use their line of credit. Well, I need to pay for this. I need to pay for this. I need to help this person. This person need help. Before you know it, their line of credit is back up. Now they got all this money they owe all over again. Okay, so I want to talk through that. Cash value life insurance policies is also a debt tool, but tools are not income. Used for strategy, not lifestyle. Have a payout plan before you borrow. Stop new debt while eliminating old debt. That is what this is for, okay? That's my debt management tool. Now, here's the debt snowball tool. Come on, everybody, get this. You list all debts from smallest to largest. You pay your minimums on everything except the smallest. You put every extra dollar toward the smallest debt until it's paid off. You roll that payment to the next debt and repeat until you're debt free. You don't take the extra payment now that you've been and say, okay, this is extra. I'm getting ready to have a good time and party. No. You're going to take that money and put it towards your next debt because you're being strategic. You're trying to eliminate all your debts. Okay, that's the debt snowball. Now, the debt avalanche tool works different. Hear me. The debt avalanche tool lists debts from highest to lowest interest rate. Interest rate. So if you got a credit card that has 25% interest that you owe versus a small personal loan for like 6% interest, I'm just saying, then maybe I need, even though the personal loan might be larger, I might need to pay the highest interest rate first because it's costing me the most a month. So I'm hoping you're following me. I know I'm talking pretty fast here, but you pay minimums on everything except the highest interest debt. Put every extra dollar toward the highest interest debt. When it's paid off, you move to the next highest and you repeat. I'm training millionaires. I'm telling y'all right now. Y'all going to be wealthy. I want y'all to get this. Now, here's the velocity banking strategy. I don't have time to get into it. Don't got time to really get into everything I want to. Y'all see how long I'm taking. Here's the method. Watch this. Using a revolving line, often a HELOC, to reduce interest and collapse amortization. Okay, you use the HELOC to pay off high interest debts. Then you pay the HELOC down aggressively using your cash flow. The more cash that you got coming in, the income you got coming in, the quicker you're debt free. Okay, so you want to increase your income. Goal is to lower interest paid and speed up payoff using disciplined cash flow management. That has helped me to pay off houses. Hear me, everybody. That has helped me to pay off houses. Here's another thing. Last thing, infinite banking strategy. Those are the only four I'm going to share with you. Concepts is using a cash value life insurance policy as a financial tool for liquidity. I have not used this strategy yet. I look forward to using it, but I have not used it yet. You borrow against a policy cash value to pay off debts or finance purchases. Another way you could do this is you could borrow against your retirement. Some of you have retirement mediums that you can use. And you say, hey, man, I got $100,000 saved up in retirement. I'm going to take 20,000 of that. I'm going to pay off this, and then I'm going to pay it back. Okay, depending on what type of policy you have. You repay the policy loan to rebuild cash value. And the goal is to create a flexible source of capital that you can reuse. Okay. Hopefully I got time to do a little case study. All right. I know I'm late. I'm sorry, y'all. I love y'all. I'm trying to give you this. All right. So I'm going to talk about Karen. Okay. Balance transfer. She's going to use a balance transfer. I had another one called Dave is going to do debt snowball. Marcus is going to do debt avalanche. And I wanted to show you how these work. Okay, so watch this. Here's my debt tool case scenario. Here's a scenario. Karen owes $5,000 on Capital Bank, her Visa, and it has 20% APR. So the minimum payment a month is $150, everybody, that she owes. Karen owes $150. She's approved for a Summit Rewards MasterCard, and that has a $5,000 limit. And it has 5% APR interest that she pays annual percentage rate is what that is. APR, annual percentage rate, for 12 months. And she has a 3% balance transfer fee. Okay, so now, because of the 3% transfer fee, the max she can transfer is $5,000 divided by 1.03, which is $4,854. And her fee, if she borrowed everything, would be $146. Now, stay with me. She pays the leftover $146 on the old card immediately, and then she freezes the card. She doesn't cancel the card. She just says, I'm not going to use this. And here's her payoff plan. Over the next 12 months, since she has a 0% interest rate.
No, just brought it in.
Somebody mute that person. She has a 0% interest rate, right? For the next 12 months. Or this one says 5% APR for 12 months. But usually it's 0% when you get a brand new card, everybody. So if she has a 0% APR for 12 months and a 3% fee, the only thing that she will really pay is $146 or whatever that interest rate is. Okay, versus paying 20% APR. She now said, okay, boom, I'm trying to kill this debt. So here's her plan. Over the next 12 months, divided by 5,000 divided by 12, she's going to pay $430 a month. She's putting all her money towards that to finish before the promo ends. Because if she lets the promo lap and she still owes money, then it goes right back up to that crazy percentage. So the outcome is her debt is eliminated in 12 months plus major interest savings versus 20% APR. Do y'all see how great that is? Do y'all see how you could use a credit card for that purpose? Not because you saw a new coat, a new something else. No. I'm using this to eliminate debt. Okay, now look at this. I'm just going to use this one scenario because I don't have time. Karen misuses the balance transfer. Here's what she did. Karen transferred $4,854 to her new card. Then she feels a state of relief. Woo! I'm good now. She keeps using the old card now. She transferred it to a new card. Now she takes the old card that she had $146 left. Instead of paying that, she said, you know what? Let me get these groceries. Giant Eagle got a deal going on. Let me get these groceries. There's a weekend trip I'm getting ready to take. Let me put some money on that trip. Oh man, my kids going back to school. They need some clothes. I'm going to do some school shopping on it. Balance returns to $1,500 at 20% interest. Okay? Because she felt that relief. On a new card, she only pays the minimum instead of attacking the balance. After 12 months, the promo ends and jumps up to 22% on the remaining balance. So the result after a year is now on a new card, she owed $3,800. On an old card, she owes $1,500 for a total of $5,300. And she's more worse off than she was before. And then I can't believe I went to that financial freedom, but Dr. Jackson told me I should use a balance transfer and I did it, and now I'm here. No, you didn't do it. No, you were undisciplined. You started off right, but you ended wrong because you decided you was gonna spend some extra money, and now you talking about, Pat, I need some prayer. No, you don't need prayer. You need discipline. You lack discipline. I gotta stop, y'all. I got so much more I could share, but I have to stop. We'll pick this up next time. I don't even have time for questions, I don't think. Robin, I'm passing it to you. I pray y'all receive something from this teaching. It's on you. I don't know if I have questions or not.
We got plenty of questions in there, Pastor. Any questions that anybody want to come off mute real quick
and entertain any questions as it relates to debt. A lot of content, but we want to make sure we get those answered. If not, again, put them in a chat. We'll grab them. We'll definitely get those to the presenters. Anybody?
Maybe I'll answer questions. Are we doing a break at all?
I got a
We-
question.
Got a question, Pastor?
Okay.
All right, this is Minister Lola. How y'all doing?
Minister Lola.
Okay, so for the balance transfer,
Yes.
if you're transferring the balance to a lower APR, you don't close the card, you just make sure you don't use it so you can get the balance paid off quicker. Am I correct in saying that in the short term?
Yes. Yes. So if I have
Okay.
2 cards, let's say
Okay.
I have a city card and my city card has $5,000 available on it, but I got $3,000 that I owe on it and I don't have a balance transfer available on it. I'm just paying it down. It's killing me. Then I got a Bank of America card, and this Bank of America card has $5,000 available on it, right? And they give me a balance transfer offer
Right.
for 0%. Then I take and I transfer this $3,000 debt onto my balance transfer, which allows me another 12 months, 10 to 12 months to
Yes.
fuel this 3,000 at a lower interest rate.
Yes.
That's all I'm doing. Yep.
Got you. Thank you.
You got it. Anybody else?
Anything in the chat?
Yes.
Oh, Elder, look at Elder Vernon.
That's Elder Michelle.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Hey,
it says
Pastor.
Vernon.
A sheep know the shepherd got to know the voice of the sheep. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. So
Go
I
ahead.
have a credit card with a $7,000 balance. I only use it to get gas,
Okay.
which is usually around $45 a month. I only want to use it to build credit. Do I pay the whole amount off every month or just pay a portion?
Very good question. I have a $7,000 credit card. It is nothing on it right now, right?
I just got gas today, but I just paid it off last month. I only use it for gas.
Okay. So now that is a great question. Do I leave any balance on it? I would suggest yes. I would suggest whatever you leave on it needs to be under 10%. If you can get it under 10%, that shows them that you know how to use your card. Now here, I'm different. I'm crazy. I'm telling y'all now, I'm crazy. I want to confess to y'all. I really am. I do mine different. I want them to see that I have $30,000 to $40,000 on my card. I want them to see this because they're not going to increase my line of credit unless I use the maximum line of credit. So if I had a $7,000 card, I would take the whole $7,000. This is just me. Don't y'all do it because you might mess up your credit score. So if you don't understand what you're doing, don't do it. I take the whole $7,000. Okay, now watch this. This is crazy. Take the $7,000 out. There's been times where I've taken the $7,000 out just to put it right back to show them that I can use that much credit. And they'll be like, wow, he's using his credit. And they increase my credit limit. I just take it out. Now, that's going to cost you because if I were to take $7,000, let's do the math. And there's a 3%. Let's just say 5%. Most of y'all probably 5%. It's a 5% interest rate. That's $350 that you would have to pay, right? To use all of that. Now, so I'm going to multiply. Hope I do this right. That's 7,000 times 3%, 1.03. It's going to be somewhere 72.10 or something like that. 3%. So 3%. I don't know. I can't do the math right now. But just hear me. I'm going to do the most that I can to use it. Then once I do that, that's $7,000. I'm going to then pay it back. And There's been times where I paid it back over time. I didn't pay it right back. I paid it back over time, maybe 10 months, maybe 11 months. I try to do 11 months. Put the money somewhere. If you could put that money in some type of investment and that money makes money for you, that's great. Most people aren't that savvy because whenever you have an investment, you have risk. And if you put money into an investment and you have risk and that risk fails, now you owe all that $7,000 and you're underwater.
Yes.
So hear what I'm saying. Let's put that money in the bank somewhere, boom, and month is automatically coming and paying, boom, paying. I set the amount, 7,000 divided by 12. I'm going to say 7,000 divided by 11 because I don't even want to go 12 months. I just want to do 11. 7,000 divided by 11. I'm paying $637 a month. Automatically, it's coming out of my account. Boom, paying it. Over the next 12 months, they're going to say, oh my goodness, you know how to manage your credit. And they're going to give you, most times they're going to automatically up. You say you got 7,000, now it's 15,000. Okay? So if I had 7,000 and I'm paying my $45 for gas, I would keep it on there for at least a month so they can see that there's money on there being used. I wouldn't just use gas. I would use any expense that you know you have to pay. You know you have to pay it. But don't put more on there than you can pay back in a time frame. Okay. Don't go over. If you got 7,000 times, let's just say 30%. All right, minus 7,000. You don't want to go over $2,100. Okay, on that card. $2,100. If you go over that, it's not a sin. If you try to, it just depends on what your term is. What's your strategy? If you're trying to increase your lines of credit, you're gonna have to use more credit. I hope that helps a little bit.
Yes, I have another quick question. Well, number one, what's a good FICO score, and do creditors primarily use FICO or Advantage?
A good FICO score, and again, FICO is the same as your regular credit score, everybody. Let me give you this again, and I want to share that because somebody asked before what was FICO. All right, so FICO, let me share this where y'all can see it. FICO is the acronym for Fair Isaac Corporation, as well as the name for the credit score model that Fair Isaac Corporation developed. A FICO credit score is a tool used by many lenders to determine if a person qualifies for a credit card, mortgage, or other loan. If they're trying to give you a credit card, more than likely, they're going to look at your FICO score. They're going to look at your credit score. That's what they're going to decide if you're worthy of it or not, to my understanding. Yeah. Any more questions?
Yes, we had a hand, Elder Bernie.
Elder Bernie, yes, welcome in.
Thank you. Question. You didn't talk about credit scams. Over the holidays, I had a lender. I was going to look for a car. A lender needed to look at my credit. I keep my credit froze. I told him that. I said, you got to give me 24 hours to unfreeze it through Experian. Someone in Southern Ohio, I'm like, what is this? The gentleman was so kind when I called the sister lender in Southern Ohio. The gentleman had been doing it for 30 years. He automatically knew it was a scam, was kind enough to give me the gentleman's name, and I did file a police report. He said, I knew. He said, as soon as I saw the demographics, I knew it was a scam, and they tried to do a scam on my identity. And I'm like, see, here we go. So because it was a sister lender, they caught it. So I haven't opened it since, and I need to conduct some business. So what's the best way other than filing the police report?
Well, you can file a police report. I had things happen to me scam wise. It's so sad because you think they're the real person, and it's just so sad. If anybody is trying to contact you from a credit agency saying they're the credit card company trying to get your money for you to pay this, or it could be we're calling from the IRS. The IRS will never call you. They will always send a letter. There's always going to be a letter sent. If it is not a letter from the IRS, and then even after that, I'm gonna call the IRS just to confirm and verify that this is that. Don't give your information out to anybody. Anybody. So yeah, file the credit report, but I'm at the file it with the police report, but there's not much you can do once they get your stuff. So it's like you gotta
I
call
was
the
blessed
credit and
because
yeah,
the gentleman had been doing that type of work for 30 years.
yeah,
And he said, just looking at the pattern, he
yeah,
said the name and the demographics, he knew it didn't match. And I
yeah,
said, Lord, thank you. Because they had it been a younger person just doing the daily work, they would have got.
yeah. And there's a way you can, like you said, freeze your report. You can freeze your credit, I meant, and make sure, and you can unfreeze it. Just call and get it unfrozen. Call the credit agency and say, hey, I need
Now,
to
I always say
unfreeze.
24 hours. It tells
Yes.
you for how long. I say
Yeah.
24 hours, 6 hours. And when I set it up, I told them, I said, get in there and get it. I said, because you got a 6-hour window.
Right.
And they said,
Pastor,
okay.
if I could interject really quickly,
Oh, go ahead,
Elder,
yes.
anytime that happens to you, Elder, along with your credit report, you also want to notify your financial institution, okay? Because there are certain protocols that we have on the back end to protect you. We have phone numbers to call. Most cases, we get the FBI involved. So always keep your financial institution involved, okay?
Thank you. I will do that. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
All right. I love it. We got another Sister Boyd. Yes.
Good morning. This is awesome.
Oh, thank you.
I have about 4 major credit cards. They're always trying to increase my credit cards. And I haven't accepted that because I said, well, if I get more credit, then I'm going to spend more.
Okay.
Based on what you're saying, that's an opportunity to get rid of some credit on some of the other, use them as a means of eliminating some credit on some credit cards. And
Absolutely.
I get credit card offers all the time, and I have not been accepting them because I'm being responsible, not getting them.
Yeah. And let me share it with you.
Wow.
If you're undisciplined now, don't do it. But if
Okay.
you have a certain amount of discipline, and let's just say you have 5,000 on one card, and they say, hey, we want to increase your credit another 10,000. Do it. I mean, yes. For me, this is just me. $15,000. Okay, well, I'm not going to take and buy clothes and buy food and shop. That's not me. It's not my lifestyle. All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to see if there's a way that I can use the money that they put on it to make money. And then it's a calculated risk, because whatever I'm borrowing, I'm saying I need to have enough money to pay that off in the event something goes wrong, so I don't put myself underwater. But that is a great opportunity. Let me just take it like this. Let's just say you make t-shirts and you sell you buy t-shirts for $5, but you sell your t-shirts for $20. You're making $15 per t-shirt. All right. And these t-shirts are selling like hotcakes, and you see the system is working. Well, what you're going to do is you're going to take, I'm going to take some of my credit, my $2,000. I'm going to buy some t-shirts. So $2,000, boom, I buy about 400 t-shirts, and then I sell those t-shirts for $20. And now I have $8,000, I only used $2,000. So boom, that's $6,000 income that I made. And that's what I'm talking about, strategy. Everybody type in the chat, strategy. That's a strategy. And I'm not praying for God just to drop money in your account. Here's what my prayer is, that God gives you a strategy. Strategy to get money. Somebody's strategy is going to be a book. Somebody's strategy is going to be a course that you make online. Somebody's strategy is going to be your cooking recipe. Somebody's strategy is going to be, okay, I'm going to take and do these lessons. Somebody's strategy, whatever your strategy is. Somebody's strategy might be like me and Lady J. We take and we'll buy homes. We'll renovate that home. We'll put somebody in that home, and we'll let that person pay us rent for a certain amount of time. We'll borrow the equity from the home, buy another house while that's going. And then once that's paid off, sell the home and make all our money back. Strategy. That's what I'm talking about. I hope that helps. I want you
Thank
on
you.
the prayer team too, Sister Boyd. I just wanted you to know. I wanted to add you to the prayer team. If you feel I put you on blast, but
Wow, that
I
is
don't-
blast.
yeah. So pray on it. I
Okay.
love you.
I love you too. Thanks.
Okay. Anybody else? I gotta go.
We just got
Elder
one more
Robert,
thing on there. I think Christy, in the
Okay,
chat.
yes.
Christy, you wanted to say something? If she's still on, if not, we'll. Okay. All right.
Okay. Can
there
you
go.
hear me?
Okay. Yes, we hear you.
Okay, so I was just wanted to speak real quick on when you were talking about the scams.
Okay.
The most recent scam that I've come across it was with my son's grandmother. I had her account set up because she has Zelle. So I had her account set up to where anytime she tries to send a Zelle, a code comes to her phone so that she don't just randomly authorize stuff. So these codes kept coming to her phone, but she doesn't technically know how to use Zelle. So someone called her and was asking her for those codes. And they
Yeah, that's
told her
messy.
that they were her bank.
Yeah.
And it even showed up a bank, name or whatever. So she steady giving them the codes, and they ended up getting her for about $7,000 out of her account.
Wow.
So
Don't
thank
do
God
it.
she had a good bank and a good banker that knew her, and she was able to recover, the funds. But
Thank God for that.
however, don't say, don't give out codes. It even tells you when you get a code, don't give this code to anybody. That means not the bank, not nobody. Don't give the code to nobody, because that code is specifically for you, and usually you're the one who have to enter it.
That's right. Very good. Don't give no codes out to anybody on your phone or on social media. Do WhatsApp. Don't do it. Very good. Thank you for sharing that.
Awesome. All right. I think we have all those in again. Thank you again. Clap it up for the debt elimination and credit again. Those who are coming on, thank you for coming in. We are coming up the pike with Janelle Gibbs. She's going to come and talk to us in reference to loans and the home buying experience. But again, in the chat, make sure you put those things in the chat. If you have questions, post those in there. The website is going to be posted for you to access that. So again, all the content from today, those slides and things that they're sharing, that's going to be available to you on the website. Come on in, Janelle. Take us home with loans.
Hey, y'all. I'm so glad you're still here and hanging on. We appreciate it. For the sake of time, Elder Robinette, we're just going to blow through these slides. Obviously, I want to thank Lady J and Deacon Felicia and Pastor for the great information. Everything that they mentioned was a building block to what we're getting ready to talk about now. For those of you that don't know me, I am Janelle Gibbs. Hey again. I am a vice president, business relationship banker with PNC Bank. I just celebrated 25 years in the financial industry. Super proud of that work, but even more proud of opportunities like this. And I want to tell you that as Lady J mentioned about the workers being few, right? Listen, opportunities are there, but you've got to put the muscle behind everything that you want to accomplish, okay? We want to see you do it, and obviously you want to do it too. So guess what? We got your back. Could go to the next slide. Next slide, please. So first things first, are you ready to purchase a home? That's an honest question that you have to ask yourself. And the reason why that is so important, financially, of course, emotionally is a big deal, right? Because when you get into, say it again. I don't know. I heard something. Anywho, financially, emotionally, when you get into purchasing a home, there's some trade-offs with that, right? You don't have as much flexibility like you did renting, because you want to have your finances in order for repairs. I think about I was 28 when I purchased my first home, and the only thing I cared about is where could I put my Christmas tree and do I have enough room to host Sunday dinner? Well, guess what? Now I gotta buy a furnace. I didn't understand what that had to do with my Christmas decorations or Sunday dinner. What do you mean I gotta buy a furnace? I was not financially prepared for that expense, right? The other step too is staying on top of your credit, knowing what your budget is when you get ready, when you start shopping for a home. Okay. You also want to understand the different loan types. There are conventional FHA. We have loans out there for our veterans. And obviously, it's going to be important for you to get pre-approved. And just because the bank pre-approves you for $350,000, that does not mean you can afford a home for $350,000. I want to be so clear. It's exciting, right? Like, oh, 350, I'm going to Poland, I'm going to Shaker, I'm going to Canfield, I'm doing all the things. However, what you must keep in mind are the taxes that come along with that. The square footage, right? It's a big old pretty house. You got to heat that joker. You got to worry about the electricity. We're not thinking about those things. So be mindful of what your budget looks like. The fifth step, finding our realtor. We got Lady J on the team as our realtor. Okay, you have all the resources in front of you. Okay, if you want to go to the next slide. When we talk about understanding what the budget looks like, okay, your monthly payment target is going to be important. And as you can see, the breakdown of the cost, you're going to have your mortgage payment, the taxes, insurance, and sometimes there is an HOA there, okay? To calculate that, 25 to 30% of your gross income, okay? That's how much you can afford according to that formula. Debt to income ratio, so important, okay? Being a vet in the banking industry and doing a lot of loans, the first thing that I am going to look at as a lender is your debt to income ratio. Okay. I know that your savings account may have a significant balance in it. Okay. You're making the money, you've been on a job for 10, 15 years. So you have all of that. You're actually filing your taxes. Okay. But that debt to income can be a deal breaker. Okay. And I've had to have a lot of hard conversations with individuals because they tell me, oh my God, Miss Janelle, but I got $100,000 in my savings account. That $100,000 does not tell me you can pay back this loan. Okay. How you are utilizing your debt, your credit, which we just discussed, is going to tell me everything about how you can manage this mortgage payment, okay? Also, I want you all to consider the upfront cost, down payment, closing costs, the cost of an inspection. Some banks pay for an appraisal. Some require you to pay for an appraisal. Movers, the initial repairs, don't be like me and worry about the Christmas tree and the decorations, right? You can, because the initial repairs, they add up. Every little touch-up paint, everything adds up. So you have to consider that as well. And sometimes, be honest with yourself and say, maybe I'm not ready. And that's okay. We got a dream team here. It's already been stated. We will help you get there. Okay. Next slide, please. What lenders are looking for? Credit score. The higher your score, the better rates, the easier the approval. DTI, income and employment. Lady J, I'm sure you can attest to this here when you're in the process of purchasing your home and we're getting close to closing and somebody quits their job in the middle of that, right? Stay on the job, please, until we get done with it. If you want, you could transition into anything that you want to after this deal is done and over with. That it's a deal breaker. And the one thing most don't realize is that we are paying very close attention to everything. Okay. When we are asking for 3 months bank statements, okay, it's not just to put it in a file. Okay. I want to know, hey, why did you just spend $1,000 to Priceline.com? We're trying to get this house, right? And that's what you told me, and I want to believe you and take you seriously, right? However, no spending during that time. That takes discipline. And again, as a lender, we are going to say, hey, not right now, and that's just it. We move on to the next, okay? In addition to your employment history and income, your assets. Do you have enough in that account for the down payment, for the closing costs, and additional reserves? What I don't want to do as a banker is put you in a position to where we got enough for the down payment, we've got enough for the closing, but then you can't live thereafter, right? I don't want to take away your entire savings just to get you in this house. Okay, so that's what we're looking at, to be honest. Documentation, pretty straightforward. Pay stubs, at least the last 4 most recent pay stubs, W-2s, bank statements, ID, and if there is a rental history, provide that, because that too, there's a tool out there that you can report your rent payments, and it helps with your credit. Okay, helps building with your credit score. So keep that in mind. Next slide. And the next one. So we have 3 different types of loans. Okay, our conventional loans, these are not insured by the government. They are backed by Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. And for those of you that keep up with this, type of information, during the housing crash in 2008, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac was a big part of that. Okay. This particular option is best for those individuals with a strong credit score and some savings, and they're able to put down more than the 3 to 5%, versus a first-time home buyer program. Okay. Usually the minimum credit score is 620 or higher. Again, better scores, you get better rates and a lower PMI. And PMI, for those of you that don't know, is private mortgage insurance. That's something else that you have to take into consideration with that payment. The bank adds PMI to that payment just in case you do default on your loan. Okay. And it honestly, it can be a lot. If your credit score is high, PMI may only be $100 extra a month. If it's low, you're talking an additional $350, $400 added on to your payment. Okay. Next slide. So next we have FHA loans. Okay. These are insured by the Federal Housing Authority. These loans are designed for lower down payments and more flexible with your credit. Okay. Down payment for an FHA loan, 3.5%. Minimum score, 580. Okay. And then it allows those that, because we all praise the 800s, and I'm grateful. Thank you all for the 800s, right? And it takes some work to get there. But I don't want those that are below to be discouraged. If their score is a 580, or a little bit higher, you can still purchase a home if that's what you desire to do. Okay. So this is why these types of loans were designed for those individuals. And just because it's 580 today doesn't mean it's going to be like that forever. So please keep that in mind. I personally like FHA loans because they have tons of programs for assistance, which we will get to. Okay. Next slide. So the other one are the VA loans. This is for our veterans. Okay. I saw someone had asked about what do you do to get a VA loan? I believe there is a veteran on here, that has some experience with these types of loans. Any veteran, active duty, certain guard, and some surviving spouses, just depending on the situation. The VA loans, the only thing that you have to provide to the bank initially is your status. If you have active orders, we do require a copy of your active orders. If it's the reserves, I'm certain that they give you something to like, hey, I'm going to, be in reserve. There's like timing that you have on the weekend. I'm not sure what that is, but it'll list the number of hours that you are part of the reserve program. Retired, doesn't matter. Okay. Oftentimes it is 0% down. There is no monthly mortgage insurance. And if there is a fee, it's a one-time fee. I have an infinite love for veterans. My brothers were veterans. My dad was a veteran. My son-in-law is a veteran. So I say all of that to say the beautiful thing about this type of loan is you can reuse it. Okay. It's not a one-time deal. So if you want to buy something, go buy another home, you can continue to utilize those benefits. Next slide. Okay, so let's talk about who can help us, right? You have the seller concessions. This is something that your realtor will discuss with you and the seller as well. Hey, I don't like the fact that there's a little leak in this basement. You're going to have to come up off this number just a little bit more if you want me to buy it. Or better yet, you're suggesting I need a sump pump. Go ahead and pay for the sump pump and we got a deal, right? Lender's credits. That's also important. Realtor and the banker would then negotiate those things for you. You have the Ohio Housing Finance Agency, Your Choice, which is they offer down payment assistance, Ohio Heroes, and then there's Ohio Home Repair Resource Lookup. Okay, you want to go to the next slide? So with OHFA, they offer 30-year fixed rate on conventional FHA, VA, USDA loans for low to moderate income buyers. Okay. The interest rates are very competitive. Income and purchase price limits depend on the actual county. This particular legwork, your realtor, and again, your banker will do some research for you, but it's good for you to know so that when you come to the table, I want you all to be educated enough to ask the questions. Okay. Unfortunately, we still live in a society where we just take what's given to us and we don't ask even when we're unsure. We got to stop. Ask the questions. The resources are certainly there, and you make your realtor and your banker work for you. That's part of the job. Okay. There are several financial institutions that are part of OHFA. Of course, I'm going to shout out my own bank, PNC. But there are several others, and you can find that out on your own. You want to go to the next slide? Your choice. So they offer down payment assistance, 3% for conventional, 3.5 for FHA, veteran, USDA. Again, several financial institutions participate in this program. The funds can be used for down payment, closing costs, and some prepay items. Okay. Now I want to spend a little bit of time there as far as the prepaid items. Say, for instance, you purchased a house, okay? You pay cash for it. And then the first thing that you do, put a brand new roof on the home. Okay. And this is going to be your primary residence. We're not talking about a flip opportunity. So this is going to be your primary residence. Those of you that had to put a roof on your house, $15,000, $20,000. Okay. So they may not provide the entire amount. Okay. But they will give you a percentage back of the money that you spent on that roof. Okay. Major upgrades like a furnace, a roof, waterproofing, things of that nature. Okay. And then there is a forgiveness opportunity. The assistance is forgiven after 7 years that you're in the home. Okay. Minimum credit score for your choice, 640. For conventional, 650. I would say 650 because they tend to scrutinize it a little bit when they know they're going to be paying back some money that was already spent. Okay. They don't really want to help you with the roof. All right. So again, back to doing our part. That's why it is important, because they will find some sort of loophole, not bashing them because we're grateful for the resource, but they will find a loophole to say, oh, you know what? No, you're only qualified for 3% because of your low score. Okay. So 650 or higher, and you're in a good spot. Next slide, please. The Ohio Heroes. There's a program for our Ohio Heroes. Those are teachers, healthcare workers, first responders, and military. Okay. The nice thing about the programs that I'm mentioning, if you want to go to the next slide. Actually, I'm getting ahead of myself, but I'll mention it since it's top of mind. You can stack these programs, and I have a slide that will show you how to do that. This one I don't want to miss. Again, it's a repair resource. Okay. If you need to do some major repairs, if you're buying a property, paying cash for it, you're not getting any financing through the bank, or doesn't matter. You could potentially qualify for the home repair. Okay. Roof, furnace, plumbing, any weatherization, just about. Windows are expensive as well. And then lead paint. Okay. Most counties, cities offer it. Again, this is where your banker and your realtor do the heavy lifting for you to find out. I will say Mahoning County, just because it's where I'm from. Mahoning County, comes across millions of dollars. Okay. Millions of dollars with an S. Okay. On the regular basis. It is the most underutilized fund because we're not asking for the money. Okay. So I'm telling you, Miss Janelle said, we heard there's some money out there. Okay. You can reach out to YNDC. The Catholic Charities is a huge one. They've been an administrator for Mahoney County for years. And again, funds just sit there. Okay. You want to go to the next slide? There it is. So this is how we can stack you're not going to be stuck just oh, well, I did the weatherization one, so I can't. Yes, Trumbull County too, for sure. You aren't gonna be limited to the number of programs that are out there. That's why they exist. It's for a first-time home buyer. Okay. They cover down payment, they cover the repairs. These are all the things that you're really, that's important the moment you go to buy your first home. Okay. So the programs are there. Step one, use an OHFA for your loan. We mentioned the lenders that are out there to participate in this program. Step two, down payment assistance. All right. So we got another major thing covered already is that down payment. Step three, any of your community action programs, grants. This particular one, even with the weatherization program, they will require you to go through like 4-week budget training, home buyers process training. It doesn't require a lot. It just requires some time. And once you complete those certifications, they cut you a check immediately. So the nice thing about this is these funds aren't going to the bank. They're coming directly to you. Okay. And then step four, combine your seller concessions and any sort of lender credits wherever possible. Now, I don't mention all of these things to say don't save any money. Okay. I want you all to be saving as if you don't have the assistance, right? You don't have the closing costs, none of those things. I want you to have that money set aside because, again, whether it is PNC doing a loan or any other financial institution, they are still going to look at 3 months bank statements. Okay. So have that piece in order. And regardless of how much money that you have in a bank, it does not disqualify you from any of these. Okay. Next slide. Again, as Pastor mentioned, pay your bills on time. Every time, all the time. Okay. We want to just continue to build that discipline because now you have a new responsibility. And buying a home is something that you should be proud of. You've worked hard to do. So take care of it because when you take care of those things in advance, it saves you later on down the road. Okay. Maintain your budget for your repairs. You want to, as I mentioned on the slide, you want to handle the small issues early to avoid big, expensive problems. Excuse me. And then once you've mastered all of these things, and we got some equity built, right? And we'll talk about, home equity, line of credit, next conversation, but that's available to you when you are paying on time and you've built that up into your one of your biggest investments. Next slide. Just a myth buster. You don't need 20% down. Okay. Do your homework, but then have those conversations with your respected lender and realtor. We're here to help. And again, don't be embarrassed what you don't know. You just don't know it, right? But then two, Ohio really is assistance friendly. Lady J mentioned Youngstown is a good place to buy some property. Okay. And again, we also found out millions of dollars come through there that are so underutilized. Next slide. That is the end of my presentation. You have my cell phone on there, my work email, personal email. Should you have any questions, call me, text me, email me. Please ask. please ask. Okay. Thank you so much, everybody, for your time.
Wait, we can ask questions?
Absolutely.
All right. I'm at work, but I heard that. Where's that money at? You said somewhere about that money. Where is that? How can we get there? What avenue do we need to take?
So you wanna talk to your banker,
Banker,
whoever your lender is.
Okay, you're gonna be my banker and lender. How can I?
What?
So, are you a banker? Are you a banker?
But what I didn't mention, I'm off the clock today. Okay.
Oh, okay. All right. So where do you bank at? Where's your bank?
I work for PNC.
PNC. Where location can we come?
I cover 6 locations. I don't.
Oh
have
my
a
God! You know what? You're right. I
But
got your
listen.
number. I got your number. I'll be calling.
How about that? There
Thank
we go.
you.
I forgot to
course.
tell y'all that Janelle is a boss, so I forgot to tell y'all that she don't just work out one location. She
Yeah,
is
6
boss.
locations. Okay.
Well, awesome, Janelle. We're so excited to have you with us again. There was a question in the chat, and they asked, does the Ohio Home Repair Resource Lookup have an income eligibility requirement?
They do at least $35,000 a year.
Gotcha. Thank you. And someone else asked, we'll go through these few questions before we wrap up. It says, do you only help in Ohio or nationwide with Chase?
I'm gonna anywhere Chase has a footprint, they can be of some assistance. I personally cover Jefferson County, Mahoning, Trumbull, and I got a small portion of the Canton, Akron area.
Awesome. I think that's all the ones we have in the chat, Janelle. Thank you much.
Thank you.
There's well. So all the
Deacon Burton.
Elder Shawana, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
If you need home repairs and you're already in a home, is there programs for that as well? My driveway is kind of messed up and I tripped over it and cracked my shoulder. So is there something for that as well?
What county? You live in Mahoning or Trumbull County?
I'm Summit.
Summit County. So I am going to find out the name of the organization there, and I can email it to you, whatever you need. I'll find out what that organization is, because they do have certain programs if you've already been in a home.
Okay.
All righty, awesome. And I do see we have a hand raised as well in the chat. Do you still have a question? I saw someone just raise their hand there. And if not, we do have Deacon Michelle Burton. Was there a question you had for Janelle, Deacon Michelle?
Yeah, she just asked it. I want to know because we just bought our home and we have some repairs. We didn't know nothing about that. But
Okay.
it's like little repairs got to be done. But we got a pretty nice home.
Okay.
For what we got it for, and we was able to secure the seller concession. They paid all of our closing costs, and they
Yeah.
also got us a 1-year home. What is it called? It was right on the tip of my tongue.
Warranty.
A warranty. That's it. They also gave us that. And but we got some little things that we want to do with the home, but we don't know. This is our first time buying a house,
Okay.
So,
Well, congratulations.
Thank
First
you.
of all, that's exciting.
but
You
it's
should be
not very
proud of
many
that.
homeowners in our family. You know what I mean?
Even
It's not
better.
a lot.
Okay.
So we can't go to people and say, "Hey, what do you do?" We can't ask that. So
Mhm.
this is good information for us, and we would like more information on what we could do
Okay.
and what our
Well, what
options
I'll
are.
do, I'll put together an email and send it over to Sister Shawana and Robinette, and then they can forward it to everybody. I think that'll be the easiest, just so
Okay.
that you have direct resources. But you
Okay.
can still call me, seriously.
Okay.
Okay.
I screenshotted your number, so I'll call you. Thank you
Okay.
guys so
Okay.
much.
No problem.
Awesome, awesome. This has been great. This has been great. All righty. I think that is it. Janelle, thank you so very much for your information that you provided with us. And we will definitely be sharing out that presentation on your behalf. So thank you so very much. And Elder Robinette, all right, I'm going to give it on back to you.
We are rolling. This was fabulous. I want y'all real quick. I know we do. Pastor likes to do this as well. Come off from mute and clap it up for our presenters.
Hallelujah.
Thank you.
Great
information.
Perfect.
Very good.
So we always want to give a time. Again, I'm just gonna our speakers. I'm just gonna put them on our spotlight. So again, if you do have some questions again before we leave out, we just got a couple of things we want to share with you. But again, we want to just kind of spotlight all of our speakers today. If you have some questions or clarity about anything before we leave, please just jump off of mute and communicate right now. I see a hand raised. You can come right off of mute and start speaking to the team.
Hi. I just wanted to say I want to thank all of you guys for all the information that you guys gave us. I did not get out the hospital till like 8 o'clock this morning. I got that phone call and that message like, listen, I will be there. I can't walk right now, but I'm gonna be there. And I'm glad I came because that was a lot of good information. So I just thank all of y'all.
Awesome. Thank you for coming. Awesome. Anyone else? Any other hands raised? You can come off from mute if you have a question for our presenters. Yes. Shaquela?
This question is for Felicia. I just wanted to know, how do I get the Microsoft Excel spreadsheet that you use?
We're going to post it on the church's website. If you have trouble getting that off, you can email me and I can send it to you.
Okay.
info@thelightchurch.us.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And also everyone should see as well, there should be a link that just sent to you. That is the website for the course. So again, if you go to the website for the course, all of the notes are in there. We're adding a few more pieces in there. And there is a link in there underneath Deacon Felicia's name with the financial tracker. So again, we just posted it in the chat, is that you do have a website specifically for this course. All the information from our speakers, their presentation notes is all there for you as well. Any other questions? All right, everybody, again, let's clap it up for our presenters. We thank you all so much for coming out today. A good opportunity to come and learn and share and all that good stuff that we're actually doing. So in the chat, again, I mentioned the website, so we have that in there for you as well. So one of the things outside of that is very important to us is that we also share the next session. So in the chat, I'm going to drop in the link. We always like to extend that to those who come out to our Financial Freedoms First. So you're going to see that within the chat is going to be a way you can register today for our next one, which is going to be May the 16th. Again, May 16th. Again, we are not just doing it once a year. We're doing this every quarter, where you can come in and get free financial literacy courses. So mark the calendar, May 16th. Again, you just got that dropped in the chat for the next session. Click on the link and register today to get your seat in that next class. That again will be a Zoom session for you. So you'll come in and join the room. And one last little link for you that's so important to us is your feedback. This helps us grow as content, as it relates to content and presentation and events. Fill out the survey. Tell us what you think. A little bit about each speaker today, something you learned, some nuggets, and even things that you say, oh man, I wish I could learn more about this. We want to grow together. In order to do that, we need your feedback. So again, thank everyone for coming out today to our Financial Freedom session, and we'll see you on May 16th. Have a great rest of your day. Love you. Bye.